Hi, I'm Coreen Sheehan, vocal coach, music educator, and published author. And my vocal tip of the week is about the tongue position when you sing. All right, you always want to keep the position of your tongue forward in your mouth when you sing. Singers will often move their tongue backwards in their mouth when trying to achieve one's lowest or highest sung notes in a song. And even, I catch you guys sometimes even in scale exercises. All right, why is that problematic? Well, I'm going to tell you. I'm going to use a diagram to help me explain why this is problematic. Okay, here we go. The tongue is attached to the epiglottis, okay? And I want you to think of the epiglottis as a door, okay? A door obviously opens and it closes. So in this diagram, the tongue is forward in the mouth. And so the epiglottis, the door, is open, in an open position. So we can have sound that comes up from the larynx, there's your vocal cords. We can have sound that travels up off of the vocal cords into the mouth, free from any obstruction. Okay, in this diagram, if this person was to be swallowing, okay, the function of swallowing, let's say food or drink, the tongue would move slightly backwards, which would trigger the epiglottis, the door, to shut over top of the larynx. And why? To protect it so that food and drink go down the esophagus and not down the wrong pipe. We know what it feels like when we swallow down the wrong pipe. So this epiglottis is basically like a safety door for our larynx. Okay, going back to our bad habit here. If the tongue moves slightly back when we're trying to sing, that epiglottis, the door, shuts over top of our larynx, which then traps and muffles the sound of our voice. Not only that, it also triggers the swallowing muscles to become tense. And when we have that tension around our larynx, we feel that in our throat. And obviously, we do not need any muscle tension when we're trying to sing, right? Okay, so that's why we need to keep the tip of our tongue forward when we're singing. All right, where do we keep the tip of our tongue? Well, there's two tongue positions. For an average sized tongue, you're going to keep the tip of your tongue resting behind the bottom front row of your teeth, okay? If you have a large size tongue, a Gene Simmons size tongue, you're going to keep the tip of your tongue resting above the bottom front row of your teeth when singing. Okay, every word has, consonants and vowel sounds, right? Okay, so when singing and pronouncing consonants, your tongue will move slightly around away from your teeth to enunciate consonants, okay? But when you are singing with vowel sounds, your tongue will always remain forward in your mouth, okay? If I take the word, let's say, take, I have a t and a k in that word. And if I'm to take the word take and sing over a series of notes, I'm going to stay on the most open vowel sound over those series of notes. And when I do so, the tip of my tongue is going to be resting behind the bottom front row of my teeth, okay? Here we go. Take. Okay, so just singing that A over a series of notes, my tongue was resting gently behind the bottom front row of my teeth. Okay, when I enunciated the T or the K, my tongue moved slightly around in my mouth. Okay, that's normal. So check yourself. Make sure that you're keeping the tip of your tongue forward in your mouth when you're singing. If you really want to make sure that you're doing this habit correctly, take a mirror and and sing in front of the mirror. When you're practicing your scale exercises, when you're practicing your songs, check to see that your tongue is staying forward. You'll hear when your tongue moves backwards. You'll see it too, and you'll feel it. If I move my tongue backwards, listen to what happens. Take. So obviously you can hear that it becomes muffled, and then suddenly it sounds very projective. We always want to have our voice projecting outwards. Remember, a microphone is outside of your mouth, not inside of your mouth. You have to project correctly. Keep your tongue forward in your mouth when you sing. That's my vocal tip of the week. And I'll see you next week for another tip. And until then, you have an awesome rockin' week. Yeah.